Can you have multiple companies held liable for the same incident of overtime violation? The answer is yes, under what we call joint employer doctrine. So there's two scenarios. One is you have a franchisor and you have a franchisee, and they're connected somehow so that any violation of overtime statute could impose liability on both companies. You could have a leasing company that leases employees to a customer company, and the customer company violates the overtime statute. You could hold both of them liable. What if you have an employer that's trying to hide overtime hours by splitting the time that the employees work between two different corporate entities, but they're connected? So under the doctrine of joint employer, you could hold them liable. Now, this is more complicated than that because joint employer is a doctrine that has changed. So the FLSA doesn't describe what joint employer is, but the DOL has. Different courts have held different factors to consider joint employer determination. The DOL under the Obama administration issued some guidance. Then it was changed under the Trump administration. And then under the Biden administration in 2021, those rules were rescinded. So now we're back to where we were before. And so different circuits have different factors that they used in determining if there is a joint employer situation. So rather than bore you by going through every circuit and explaining each one, I can tell you three of the major factors that all the different circuits across the U.S. look at. And one is the degree of control of each of the companies over the employee. Number two is whether or not each of the joint employers have the ability to hire or fire an employee. Number three is the degree of control that each employer has over the work condition of the employee. So degree of control could mean each employer has the ability to control how many hours and how much and how the employee gets paid. I hope that helps. Okay, back to work.